Hey there everyone, BAMFU here. Hope y'all are having a great day because I got another awesome video lined up for you. But before we dive into it, make sure to grab you a snack, sit back and relax because today's video is going to be all about my first experience getting drunk for the very first time. Let me tell you, it's quite an ordeal by the end of it. Honestly, as I was reflecting through the story, I was thinking to myself like, can I make this like not 5 minutes long? But then I started thinking about it. There was like some aftermath, some stuff that happened later that night that, hey, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so like I say, get comfortable and let's get into it. This story actually involves my old roommate from my previous story in my last video, so if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. But this takes place towards the middle or end of high school when things were still good between us. I remember vividly, like, we're gaming, dude. I remember us playing, I want to say it was Soul Calibur. And man, dude, Soul Calibur 2 was like, that was like such a legendary game. It was just amazing. Me and most of my friends at the time were totally hooked on the dungeon game mode, and in this particular moment, we're taking turns like after each fight so we could buy more of the weapons. And when I'd wait my turn to jump on, dude, I was playing this game that maybe lost to time called Step Mania. Maybe it's still popular, I don't know, but I used to be obsessed with that rhythm game. If you remember or still play Step Mania, shout out, dude. Holy shit. But Step Mania always holds a special place in my heart. I think OS is the more current rhythm game nowadays, but I'm not trying to digress. So, we're kicking it, doing our thing, gaming, and my friend says, yo, another friend of his, we'll call him T, wants to come over, and he has a bottle of some white rum. And I'm just like, yo, I know I've never drank before. I've maybe had a literal sip of beer before in the past, but, let's get into it, man. I'm down. So my old roommate's friend T stops by with the rum. And see, we're at my buddy's house. We're at my old roommate's house at the time. And his mom was rarely home. So we were really in the clear to get into the booze and not have to worry about getting caught or anything. Because, dude, his mom would definitely blow up on us. So we're definitely trying to keep it low key at that point. So we crack into this bottle of white rum. Man, I don't even remember if we had chaser or not. This was like a lower tier rum. I want to say it was Ron Rico, but hey, it would definitely not be the last time I'd be kicking it with Ron, if you feel me. So I have a couple of drinks, but before we really get into it, one point our buddy T's like, yo, is there any food in the house? We might be getting kind of hungry before we really start getting into it, or before the end of the night, we're going to want to have to eat something. We're like, shit, yeah, there's no food here, so we'll have to go get something on our stomach. So we secured some Taco Bell, and I'm feeling pretty drunk at this point. Like, I kept drinking in the back, just kicking it. Riding back from the Taco Bell run, T rode shotgun and I rode in the back, and my old roommate was driving. And dude, I remember my buddy's friend T got a bean burrito and it was super dry. Like, the tortilla was super dry. The beans were like crusty. They looked like they had scraped like the last of their beans, from the container they keep everything warm in, and before they had to make a fresh batch. But dude, he like opens it up and he's got it faced open and he's like, dude, what is this bullshit? And then, dude, we're like driving and he rolls down his window and then proceeds to like just yeet the fucking opened up burrito at a stop sign. And man, dude, it sticks perfectly on the stop sign, like right in the middle of it, dude. We're like losing our minds laughing hysterically. And hey, I get it, it's just some teenagers being shitlords, but sometimes back in the days, you just had to do some impulsive shit. I always felt that way when I was younger, right? So we get back to my buddy's place and, we really start to drink. And man, just one of the last things I remember from that night is me trying to be a badass. And I like turn the bottle up and get like a couple of really good glugs. Because I was sitting here thinking, oh, like the burn is like the only thing you need to get over, right? So I get my glugs in, and I remember sitting on the floor. We're playing Soul Calibur still, or maybe we switched over to Dynasty Warriors, another good OG game. But anyway, we'll fast forward a little bit because the next thing I remember is just being in darkness, right? And I'm kind of aware that I'm passed out a little bit here. And the next thing I remember is just my body like convulsing. Like, I'm like, what's going on here? Turns out I was just being a fire hose of barf, dude. And I'm like puking all over the place. All that Taco Bell, because dude, I had like the drunk munchies at some point. So we had some stuff that we ate, on the way back, but we picked up some extra stuff just to heat up in the microwave. So I'm sitting there like black out in a drunken stupor, just feeling my body convulse. Dude, they had to like strip me down, remove all my clothes, throw me in the shower. Then they had to put my clothes into like a trash bag. It just smelled like just alcohol. So after that point, that's all I remember. I just remember hearing my friend talking about like he's like, dude, stop puking. And then I just remember like being out of it the entire time. Like I don't remember seeing anything. I just remember having my eyes closed, right? So the next thing I remember when I opened my eyes, they're downstairs. Is his sister's room is on one side and his room is on the other. Well, no one else was home other than us, no, not his sister, not his mom. So I wake up and I'm in his sister's bed. Like they put me in there and I wake up and I'm just in my boxers. I'm like, dude, what is going on? So when I get up, my old friend, my old roommate, he told me, he's like, dude, I gotta go. I kind of slept in and I can't miss tennis practice. So, I slept in because I was just completely obliterated, right? But hey, man, I really owed them a solid because, like I said, they put all my puke soaked clothes in like a giant trash bag and cleaned everything up. Dude, from what I understood, that bathroom looked like a war zone and it was pretty much spotless when I woke up the next morning. So he tells me since he has to go to practice, he gave me a ride there originally. So he's like, dude, my mom's about to be home and she's going to have to give you a ride home. And I'm like, oh shit. Because I'm honestly kind of still drunk, but definitely hungover and I'm feeling rough. So I throw my glasses on, my sunglasses, and I try to just act as chill as possible. While I'm like packing up my stuff, like I throw this puke-soaked clothes that smelled like straight booze in the back of his mom's van. Like I jammed it in the far back so she couldn't even get like a whiff of it or anything. And to make things even worse, I had forgot I brought my bass amp and my bass. So I have like this huge bass amp that weighs probably 80 pounds that I have to lift into this car now hungover as shit. So anyway, I hop in, his mom gets me home, and I go into the side door of my garage where my car is. Now, I was trying to avoid my grandma, so when I went into the garage, her car was gone, and I was like, dude, clutch. This is literally like a godsend because I don't know if I could have not looked like shit, like if she saw me face to face. So I toss my puke bag of clothes in the trunk of my car, go upstairs, and try to grab a couple hours of sleep. I had work later that day, and at the time when I was 16, I worked at a place called Crystal, which, for some of you that might not know this, it's essentially like the East Coast White Castle. And dude, when I wake up and I'm like, dude, one of my chill managers is working. I need him to like handle these clothes for me. Because it's kind of hard to like find time to go do my clothes somewhere, and I couldn't wash them at the house, obviously. So, dude, my manager, he was like maybe like 22. I told him the story. I gave him the rundown and handed him the bag of clothes. I'm like, dude, like I'll owe you one. Like I'll come in on a day someone calls out. Like I'll be on call on this weekend in case somebody calls out, dude. Just do me this solid. Like I just don't want to have to deal with this anymore. I feel like shit. Like, bro, help me out. So he does me a solid. He's like, dude, there's actually like a really shitty laundromat I never use, like almost like attached to my apartment unit. I'm just gonna throw them in there since I don't even use it anyway. It's gross, but fuck it, dude. And man, when I handed my manager my bag of just gnarliness, dude, it was like Taco Bell baked in with rum, like sitting in the heat of my trunk most of the day. Dude, it was rough. He was like laughing his ass off at me about it. He's like, dude, I still appreciate you coming into work today, man. He actually ended up coming through solid on that. And I think the next day he had my clothes washed and everything. I was like, oh, I owe you everything, man. He gave me hell. Everyone gave me hell about that for so long, but honestly, I kind of deserved it. Well, guys, if you watch this whole video, consider subscribing, like it. And also, does anyone else have a similar story? Any crazy first-time drunken stupors? Because I'd love to hear some. Until next time, guys, don't do anything stupid. And remember, as always, to take it easy, gamers.